So is my screen visible? Can someone just write in the chat? Yeah, I guess it is visible. Maybe a little bit slow. The stream may be a little bit slow. Let's start with the questions. The first question is like the 50 number question. Yeast used form leavening is marketed in the form of compressed yeast, active dry yeast, both A and B, and none. So what is the right answer? The right answer, as we know, yeast is available in the market in the form of both active dry yeast and compressed yeast. So option C is the right answer. The activity and shelf life of compressed yeast at 1 degree to 3 degree Celsius remains up to. So this questions actually was in the last class it was written as 1 week, something like that. So actually it should be 1 month, and the right answer is 5 months. So it actually up to 6 months. If you are refrigerating it, we can extend it up to 6 months. Otherwise, 2 months is in the normal temperature. Okay. Next question. In sponge method of bread making, some of the ingredients are mixed at certain temperature and allowed to ferment to the desired maturity. So what is the temperature at which this mixing is done for sponge method? So we know there is a straight dough method, there is a sponge method, right? So in case of straight dough method, what happens? The mixing of all the ingredients are done at once. Okay. And in case of your sponge method, there is a two-step process. Now, what is the temperature range in case of sponge method? The temperature is your 23 to 24 degree. This option A is the right. Leaf ingredients are mixed at certain temperature. Now, straight dough, what is the temperature they are asking? The options which are given is 23 to 24 degrees Celsius, 25 to 25, maybe it is 27 degrees Celsius, and 26 to 28 degrees Celsius, 30 to 32 degrees Celsius. Now, what is the right answer? It is for straight dough method. Okay. The deterioration of bakery products, bread or cake, due to mostly by physical changes, means deterioration. So the options are physical injury, mechanical shock, staling, and proofing. So we know proofing is not the answer. We are making any bread or something, it's a part of the process. So this is not, which are given is potassium bromate, potassium dichromate, potassium permanganate, potassium iodide. Okay, we know this permanganate, usage of permanganate, iodide, and dichromate. So these things are not there. The potassium bromate is the oxidizing agent which is extensively used to improve the dough properties. Okay, the right answer is option A, potassium bromate. Next question is dash yields maximum head rise and effectively separates the barn. The options are huller, sheller, huller cum sheller, rubber roll, rice mill. So for this particular, for the yield of maximum head rise, what is the type of machine or equipment which is used? Okay, the right answer is basically the rubber roll rice mill. If you are using, it will give the most of the yield. Okay, asking के बाद जो आपका बचता जो rice बनता है, that is what is known as your head rice, the total quantity without removing the bran and other things. Distinctive red color of cottonseed oil is mainly due to the presence of the material due to whose presence the cottonseed oil have a certain color. So the questions options which are given is gossypol, tannins, stearulic acid, pigmented glands. Okay. So the option for this, the answer for this is stearulic acid. I couldn't see any stats in the live chat. There is no question, so I guess we are good to go. I think. Okay. Chalo. Next, peroxide value of stored oil indicates a degree of hydrolysis, reversion of oil, oxidation of oil, lipolysis of oil. Now, what is peroxide value? We know that for determination of your oil quality, okay, there is a free fatty acid value, FFA, there is a PV peroxide value, there is a para-anisidine value. Okay, primary oxidation is for peroxide value, secondary oxidation is for para-anisidine value. So this peroxide value of stored oil indicates the degree of what? Now oxidation of oil is okay, that's we understand there's a process, but degree of this is known as breakdown of lipid. So lipolysis of oil is the right answer. That is the process, but specifically if you are saying that what it indicates the lipolysis of oil. Okay. Stabilization of rice bran can be done. Next question, the stabilization of rice bran can be done by pelleting, storage at high humidity, storage at high temperature, and heat treatment. So there are four options which is given. Stabilization of if we are storing it, pelleting is something different. Is a process of keeping the things pellet में रखना है उसको store करके. That is a different thing. If you are storing at high temperature, it will not exist. Means it will not persist the treatment. So the right answer is you have to store it at high humidity so that the rice bran is stable. Okay. Correct answer is storage at high humidity. Which content of rice husk can be converted into furfural? Okay. So, which is the which content of the rice husk can be converted to furfural? Options which are given is lignin, hemicellulose, ash, silica. So the right answer will be hemicellulose. Okay, okay. Furfural, if you have to convert it, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen components is there. So, usme what is the things which can be converted is basically the hemicellulose part. Okay, not ash or silica. Lignin is a kuch hota nahi. Okay, silica बोल के in rice husk no. Okay. Dewaxing is a process for process of vegetable. The different options which are given. One is your hydrogenation. There is another is your refining. Another is your bleaching. Another is your leaching. Okay. So four options are given. So dewaxing is a process of what? It's a process of your refining. What you can say is a process of refining. Okay. Dextran is a gummy polysaccharide refined sucrose medium. Cereals, whey molasses or refined sucrose medium. Cake flour should have protein content. The options given are 5 to 10%, 10 to 15%, 10 to 20%, 20 to 35%. Now, if you want to make cake, we need a certain type of texture. If you want to make bread, we need a certain other type of texture. If you want to make biscuit, we need a different type of texture. Now, if you want a hard texture, then the protein content should be high. Do less. If it is less, then only the soft texture will be there. Fluffiness and softness will be there. Okay. So the right answer should be 5 to 10%. Okay, cake flour में 5 to 10% होना is desirable. Next question. Dash used for dehulling and degerming of corn. What is the equipment which is used for dehulling or degerming of corn? Entolator is an instrument, reduction system, brake system, attrition mill. Okay. If you want to dehull or degerm the corn, there is the instrument name, the equipment name is known as your entolator. Is a conical shape and kind of thing where inside there is some abrasive entolator. Okay, the next is the chemical preferred for steeping of maize due to what is the chemical which is preferred? Sulfur dioxide, calcium chloride, sodium hydroxide, sodium cobalt. Sodium cobalt, nothing like that. So what is the right answer should be your this is for steeping of maize. So right answer should be sulfur dioxide. Okay, other things are not used. Next question, wet milling of sorghum is more difficult than maize. Okay, now why the wet milling of sorghum is more difficult? The question is like that. So one option is a small size grain, small germ, pericarp contain polyphenolic pigments, and the other option is all. So in case of your sorghum, all the things are right. The grain size is small, germ is also small, and obviously the pericarp also contains a phenolic pigment. So all the three options are correct. That's why the option will be D. So that is the reason it becomes very difficult to do the wet milling of sorghum. The germinated sorghum rootlets and sprouts. Option is A. Okay. Steaming is getting a little slow. Okay. The final moisture content of malt is around 2 to 5%, 9 to 11%, 12 to 14%, 18 to 20%. Now, what is the final moisture content of malt? How much it should be? It should be less. Should be what? 2 to 5%. Okay. It should be 2 to 5%. Final moisture content of malt should be 2 to 5%. The vitamin deficient in maize, thiamine, niacin, riboflavin, pyridoxine. So we know the deficient which is not present, or which in the maize it is niacin. Okay. High amount of beta glucan. Basically beta glucan present in rice, maize, wheat, barley. Now, high amount of beta glucan which it is present in which type of crop? It is the product which is whether it is rice, maize, wheat or barley. The correct answer is barley. Okay. हाई बीटा ग्लूकन जो होता है it is present in barley में ज़्यादा रहता है. Now biological value is high for rice, maize, wheat, sorghum. Now see, what is biological value? Biological value is basically the amount of protein which is absorbed by the body by the particular person who is eating that. Okay, so accordingly the what we can say useful protein you can say. Okay, so now here it is not say protein or something, but as a whole, the amount of the nutrients which is get absorbed by the body, it is basically high for sorghum. Okay, maximum concentration of proteins in sorghum: albumin, globulin, prolamine, glutenin. Now what is the right answer? This for this concentration of proteins in sorghum, the right answer is prolamine. Okay. Virtuousness has been associated with hardness and high protein, hardness and low protein, softness and low protein, softness and high protein. Now, virtuousness is associated with what? There are two things: hardness or softness, high protein or low protein. Now, in this case, this is associated with basically high protein and hardness. Okay, both. Germ percentage in corn: 10 to 12%, 14 to 16%, 8 to 10%, 18 to 20%. So, what is the right answer? For this, germ percentage in corn is 10 to 12%. Okay, that's the right answer. The shape of starch granules in opaque endosperm of maize. What is the shape? The options which are given is polygonal, spherical, round, irregular. So maize it is saying, इसको पता होना चाहिए, पर maize it is spherical. Okay, shape of starch granule is spherical. Tempering of wheat causes mellow endosperm, toughen the bran, improve the physical state of grain. All. So in this tempering method, when we do tempering for heat, there is a different types of treatments are given. So उसमें क्या होता है? Mellow endosperm, toughen the bran, improve physical state. All the things happens. Okay, it toughens the bran also. It improves the physical state also. The right answer is all. All of these happens when we are doing tempering for wheat. Which of the following sentences are correct about break roll system? It separates bran and endosperm virtually. Brake rolls are operated in pairs in same direction. Brake rolls are rotated in at a different direction. End product of brake roll systems are coarse offals. Now options which are given: A, B, C, B, C, D, A, C, D, all the above. Okay, now all the above cannot be the answer. So let's understand. So see, it separates bran and endosperm virtually. This is known. It separates bran and endosperm, right? So this option is right. Option A is right. Okay. Now you see, brake rolls are operated in pairs in same direction. Brake rolls are rotated in at a different direction. Now you know, in case of brake rolls, the rotation should be always in the. It happens in the different direction. Okay, it is not the same direction. Okay, दोनों एक ही side से rotate नहीं करते. It is different directions. So different directions में हो रहा है. That means this option is not right. Okay, option B is not right. Now brake rolls are rotated in different direction. We have already told. So this is right option. End product of brake roll systems are coarse offals. This is true. This is true. Okay. So what is the right answer? A, C, D, all the things are correct. So A, B, C, no. B, C, D, no. A, C, D, we have an option. So answer. This is the right answer. Okay. Reduction of coarse endosperm to flour was done by brake roll system, reduction system, both, and germinators. Okay. Both means both A and B they are trying to say. Now what is the coarse offals? The end product is coarse offals. Now it is endosperm reduction of course endosperm to flour. It can be done by the your reduction system. Okay, by the reduction system. Okay, reduction system has smooth, rough, both, none. I mean ultimately the final joint product आता है regarding that. So it has a smooth finish. Okay. Soft wheat has loose starch granules, low degree of cohesion between starch and protein, sticky flour, all. Now, soft wheat has, we have to understand the question. It is said loose starch granules. There is no comments. I think, I hope the things are going well. Let's see. Okay. So, soft wheat has loose granules, low degree of cohesion, starch protein. Yes, soft wheat are sticky. Yes, this is true. Okay. This is True only. Low degree of cohesion between starch protein. Yes, that is also true. So all the other three options are right. Loose starch granules. Okay, soft wheat में ये होता है. Hard wheat has gritty flour, easily sifted flour, less loose starch granules. All the options will be correct, right? So this is basically the other side of the coin. Okay, hard wheat has में so इसमें these things will be gritty. The separation will be easy, sifting will be easy, dryness होगा, ठीक है? But if in case of soft, it will be sticky. Okay, so that is the reason soft wheat will be used for certain other purpose, hard wheat will be used for certain other purpose. So there will, if you study the biscuit, soft dough, hard dough biscuits are there. When there is hardness is more, we have to use shortening for reducing the hardness or उसको थोड़ा soft बनाने के लिए. So there are certain processes, there are some techniques which is being used. Okay, cake flour should have protein content. Oh, this is a repeat question. So 5 to 10%. Used for dehulling and degerming of corn. Dehulling, degerming. This is also a repeat question. Until later is we have already seen. Chemical preferred. Okay, how it is getting repeated. Maize due to sulfur dioxide. Fine. Wet milling of sorghum is more difficult because of all these three. Okay. Okay. Maybe there is some. Okay. Oh, up to this is got repeated. Let's see this question. The germinated sorghum root let sand sprout shoots consumption is harmful. Yeah, that is the thing. For what is the reason for which uh, this particular thing is harmful? Citric acid. Okay. The main aim of killing is to increase the enzyme activity. This is already seen, right? Better gas production in dough formation should have sufficient activity of diastase, of enzyme diastase, glutenase, maltase, zymase. So what is the particular enzyme? Should have sufficient diastase. Sticky dough is due to too soft water, hard water, weak flour, strong salt. So we know strong salt will make it different. Hard water से नहीं होगा. Weak flour is not actually the reason. The reason is too soft water. Okay. The percentage of bran in wheat. Now, how much percentage of bran is there in wheat? The options which are given is 13 to 17%, 7 to 12%, 23 to 27%, 32 to 36%. So actually, we know the percentage of bran which is there in wheat is 13 to 17%. Denatured gluten in wheat lost its elasticity, do not form dough, easily form dough. Both option A and B. Now, denatured gluten. Gluten is a protein. Protein का denaturation होता है when there is a denaturation of gluten. Now, are there, right? If in order to make a gluten, there are two things. Okay, so we know gliadin and gluten, two things are there. When we are adding water, so gluten बनता है. Now, one is responsible for elasticity. Now, this glutenin is basically responsible for elasticity. Okay, now if it is got denatured, so it will lose elasticity and also the dough will not form. So gluten denaturation temperature is how much? What is the gluten denaturation temperature? 70 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, 120 degree. Okay, so gluten denaturation temperature denatures at 70 degrees Celsius. Okay. Wheat flour contains following enzyme: amylase, proteases, lipases. Wheat flour में कौन से enzymes रहते हैं? Okay, what are the enzymes present? All these enzymes are present in this wheat flour. So all the above. One second. Amylase is the enzyme which is present. Okay. Next, which of the following statement is true? Alpha amylase converts soluble starch to dextrins. Beta amylase more heat. Amylase more heat stable than alpha amylase. Beta amylase converts starch to maltose. None of the above. Now try to understand this. Okay. Alpha amylase converts soluble starch to dextrin. Yes, true. Okay. Beta amylase is more heat stable than alpha amylase. No. Alpha amylase is better, heat stability is better for alpha amylase. So this is not right answer. Next, beta amylase converts starch to maltose. Yes. So one second. A, B, the options are, this is true. So A, B. Okay. So I think there is some Beta amyl is more heat stable than alpha amyl is. No, there is some issue with this question. We'll check this. Okay. Protease activity is inhibited by potassium bromate, sodium bicarbonate, calcium chloride, lime. Now, protease activity is inhibited by potassium bromate, sodium carbonate, calcium chloride, lime. Now, what is the different? What is the answer? Right answer for this? Protease activity will be inhibited by potassium bromate. The percentage of protein in rice. How much percentage of protein is there in rice? 7 to 9%, 9 to 11%, 12 to 16%, 17 to 23%. So, how much amount of rice is present? Protein is present in rice? That is 7 to 9%. 7 to 9%. Orizonin is a type of protein. Glutenin, albumin, globulin, prolamine. Number one. We know this is another term. Then also Zen protein we call. Zen is type of protein. It is albumin, globulin, prolamine. Kind of repeated question. Glutenin. Okay. So it's a type of prolamine. Okay. The amino acids deficient in maize protein, lysine and methionine, methionine and tryptophan, lysine, methionine, tryptophan, threonine, arginine, and methionine. Okay, what is the amino acid which is deficient, which is less in your, which is not there in your maize protein, deficient in maize protein? This is basically lysine. Yes, lysine is less. Methionine is also less. Methionine and tryptophan. Yes, both. So A and B both are correct. Lysine. The concentration of lysine and tryptophan increases in things. The protein. Amino acid, sorry, the presence of this lysine and tryptophan. So हम कैसे increase कर सकते हैं? What is the process by which we can increase it? We can do germination. If you do germination, it will increase. Which of the following ingredients act as moisture in bakery process? Fat, sugar, milk, flour. So we can understand milk में तो पूरा आपका कितना percent water ही रहता है ना? Okay, so we have the water. If you say fat, it cannot act as a water, right? मॉइस्चर का कोई काम नहीं करेगा. शुगर ऑल्सो विल नॉट यील्ड दैट मच मॉइस्चर. फ्लोर तो ऐसे ही कुछ नहीं है, उसमें 14% एनी हाउ विल बी द मॉइस्चर, बट दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द थिंग. सो उसमें बेकरी प्रोसेस में मेनली मिल्क जो डालते हैं उसमें आपका मॉइस्चर काम करता है. द टेंडराइजर्स इन बेकरी प्रोडक्ट, फैट, शुगर, बेकिंग पाउडर, all. Now what are the tenderizers means? It can basically they improve the process, improve the quality of the bakery item. Okay, so वहाँ पे tenderizer, if you are saying if it is a shortener, then it should be have been fat. Now tenderizer when I am saying all the things are responsible. Okay, baking powder also, sugar also, fat also. So right option is D. The essential ingredient in bread manufacture. The essential ingredient in bread manufacture: salt, sugar, fat, malt. So which is the essential ingredients when we are manufacturing bread? Okay, ब्रेड बनाने के लिए एसेंशियल इंग्रेडिएंट्स ये सॉल्ट है. इसमें आपका बहुत कुछ चेंज हो जाता है. ओके, ऊपर नीचे हो जाएगा तो बहुत इश्यू हो जाएगा, राइट? अदरवाइज शुगर फैट इज रिक्वायर्ड. तो है. Okay, the function of flour in bread manufacturing: texture, structure, rigidity, all. Now flour is the main ingredient for bread manufacturing. What type of protein, what type of flour we are using, accordingly the things will change. Hard wheat mostly desirable in bread production due to high protein, low water absorption, poor gas holding properties, produce less elastic dough. Okay, hard wheat mostly desirable in bread production due to high protein, low water absorption, poor gas holding properties, produce less elastic dough. Hard wheat. Okay, hard wheat in bread production क्यों डिजायरेबल है? क्या होता है हार्ड wheat देने से? हार्ड wheat अगर होता है तो what is the requirement? Hard wheat basically requirement is high protein. Okay. Which wheat should prefer? Which should be preferred? Cakes and cookies production. Hard wheat, soft wheat, durum wheat, all. Production. What is our bread production? What should be the pH value range for your flour? Okay, so it should be how much? 5.5 to 6.5, 4.5 to 5.5, 7.5 to 8.5, 8.5 to 9.5. Which ideal should be 5.5 to 6.5. The gluten is made up of glutenin and glutein, gliadin and glutenin, chloramine and gluten, lysine and glutenin. We know gluten is made up of the two things, gliadin and glutenin. The strength of gluten is due to gliadin, glutenin, prolamine, elastin. Now, what is the, we have understood gluten have gliadin and glutenin. Now, which is the thing which gives the strength? Okay, दोनों में कौन सा देता है? सो ग्लूटेनिन. Okay, the tightly holding and adhering nature of gluten is due to gliadin, glutenin. कौन सा है? It is basically because of gliadin. Okay, holding capacity. The function of sugar in dough fermentation activates yeast, retention of moisture, increases gas production. All. Now, what is the function of sugar in dough fermentation? Function of sugar for dough fermentation, we understand it also in baking, because there of aeration problem or poor flavor, poor color, poor texture. Now, what is the right answer? The four options given. Granulated fats should be avoided in baking process. Okay. Now, if you are using granulated fat, what will happen? If it is a granulated fat, there will be some. It will not be proper mixing. Will not happen. First thing, if proper mixing doesn't happen, there will be problem of what you can say, air pockets. Okay, so proper mixing will not happen, air pockets will happen, and then when will you bake it, proper baking will not happen, there will be problem of aeration, deformation will happen. Okay, ठीक ठाक तरह से आपका वो बनेगा नहीं, फूलेगा नहीं. So problem होगा आपका aeration problem होगा if you are using granulated fats. In baking, fat as in baking, fat act as emulsifier, lubricant, tenderizer, all. Now, very nicely the options are given: emulsifier, lubricant, tenderizer. Lubricant, yes. Emulsifier also the same thing. Tenderizer also. The baking fat, we use it as